Hi, my name is Pat, and I'm a lab technician. I'm responsible for running tensile tests so that production can ship our products. I run lots of tests every day, identical tests with lots of repetition. Measure, input data, test. Measure, input data, test. Measure, input data, test. And with all my experience, this can get kind of tedious. I also spend a lot of time waiting for tests to end. I bet that half of my time is spent waiting. I find other things to do while I wait, but I'd rather focus my time on more valuable activities around the lab. Every lab technician has a little bit of a different technique when it comes to testing, so when we switch operators, we get different results. And inconsistent results do not make my boss happy. Sometimes we ship bad product because it tested good. Other times we don't ship good product because it tested bad. So to achieve consistent results, I get stuck doing everything over and over again. To deal with the backlog of testing, I get to work early and usually end up staying late. Overtime is good for me, but not for my boss. And on top of that, production has to wait for the test results in order to ship. If I don't get results out fast, the factory has to wait, and that costs the company money, which makes me and my boss look bad. It's a constant battle. Every now and then, I get a pain in my arm. I can't afford to be out of work due to an injury, so I'm constantly changing positions to make it easier on my body. I always wonder if switching positions affects the way I insert a specimen. Our safety committee is always reminding us technicians to keep your fingers away from the grips, or they will be pinched. Wouldn't it be great if even a few parts of the test could be automated, like the measurement part? Or what if testing could run unattended? What if tests could run overnight? How cool would it be if I could automate all of it? I could finally clear up the backlog and focus on more interesting work around the lab. I could do more value-added work around the lab, less tedious and more interesting for sure. There wouldn't be operator issues to cause inconsistent results. The tests would run automatically the same way every time, so the results would always be consistent. We could run tests overnight, decreasing our backlog and get ahead of the game without having to hire more technicians. Like the boss always says, we have to learn to do more with less. If we could automate our testing, we would be able to keep our hands out of the machines and stop the repetitive motions. The health and safety officers would certainly love it. But if this existed, it surely would be an expensive addition. How could I justify this to the company? I'd need some help to crunch some numbers. By automating the tedious part of the testing, it would save about 3/4 of my time. It would be like hiring 3/4 of a new person. There's got to be a payoff in there somehow.